afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, December 10th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern. We have a special call tonight at 9 p.m. on this line, Reverse Aging Health Call, with special guest John Butt on his new technology of structured water. Real everlasting healing happens from the inside out. Whenever we have an emotional trauma that stores anger, sadness, grief, shame, or any stuck emotion that isn't allowed to be felt, experience, and come to completion, it tends to remain buried in the back of our emotional refrigerators. This experience is like a container of forgotten food lost way in the back, hidden behind life's fresh new experiences. These undigested experiences from our past are the leftovers of our lives, which seem to remain in the emotional corners of our psyche, waiting to be found, eaten, or composted. If we didn't have undigested past emotions trapped inside our bodies, our lives would be blazing with amazing joy and light in all directions. If we discovered and cleaned out all our leftovers, we would literally feel pure, free, and clean from the inside out. Many of these unwanted emotional experiences we ignore or forget because they are so traumatizing to deal with. So we push them to the back of the fridge anytime we smell them. They can arise so quickly at any moment in a conversation, watching a movie, or just being alone. And the tendency is often to just suppress it and deal with it later. The problem is that this life contains a new experience each moment, so we can easily become distracted by the new experiences on our plate and never make time to clean out the old. Suddenly, years go by, and the last thing we want to do is open up whatever was in that old Tupperware tight-sealed container of rotting leftovers. Perhaps we don't even remember what our leftovers are. The good news is that we don't have to remember right now. Simply make the decision to open up and feel these emotional leftovers the moment they reveal themselves. If you want to face them directly, just sit silently in a quiet room by yourself for a few hours. Soon, you'll get a small sniff of one oozing out of its container. We may unconsciously avoid the odor, sight, and thought of an old emotional leftover and cover it up with a sweeter fragrance, or perhaps our type, that we are the type that likes to dig into our past memories all the time, reliving the nostalgic yesterday greatest moments. This is like reheating the same batch of old lasagna in the microwave and attempting to dig into it again and again. Even though there may be a few morsels of nutrition in there, it will never be as healing and fulfilling as the fresh organic fruit picked right out of the garden today. Meaning this present moment is where the life force is truly at. It's not found in the past or the future. It's all right here. If you have not cried, been angry, or felt any real emotion for months, it's maybe time to clean out your emotional refrigerator. I'd advise you to make a compost pile far away from everyone and toss everything out with great catharsis. The full understanding of why these experiences occurred in your life is not necessary, yet will come to you at the right place and time. You don't have to figure out why trauma has happened to you or why you manifested that experience. You just need to clean out the refrigerator. The past is a dead thing. And we waste precious energy each time we avoid, pretend, or ignore any old rank experience oozing up into us. With just a little bit of housework, it allows room in our refrigerator for new experiences like love, joy, and sensual aliveness to move in. There is something so very healing, empowering, and liberating about releasing all the pent-up emotions that are buried inside of us. Have you often wondered if this liberating feeling isn't the main reason why we hold on to them in the first place? The many wonderful results that occur through deep emotional cathartic release, we'll find that over 95% of diseases simply disappear when there is no longer an emotional attachment hooked into our body's memory of certain events. We really have no idea how much joy is possible inside our bodies until we get a whiff of clean air when the emotional garbage has left the building. Now, you may have found yourself becoming triggered by the smallest things in this life. It's a good sign that you have some of your leftovers are starting to smell, and you're desperately needing a deep cleaning. It truly depends on the depth of your curiosity, yearning, and courage to explore the darkest corners of your emotional fridge for you to find and toss out your internal leftovers. Now, the golden secret key here is to be patient with your investigation and use every little thing that triggers you in life as a light bulb to locate the doggy bags that are hidden deep in the past. You think about that. How many of us do that? How many of us store that? And it goes on for years and years and years. And every now and then it kind of shows up. And we just kind of we push it in the back of the refrigerator. And then you ever done that when you've got a container or something, it's sealed. And you're not sure what it is because you don't remember what it was you put in there. And it's been sitting in the back of the refrigerator. I know some people for a year. And they just, every time it comes up, it comes to the front, they push it in the back of the refrigerator. And then they get this, oh, I'm not going to open that. No telling what's in that. You ever done that? This is what we do with experiences and memories that we just don't care to release, to let go of. When our heart is free, then it's up to us to have the courage to follow it. Your heart is free, have the courage to follow it, Braveheart. Most of us have been taught in this life that when we are not happy, that we should put on a happy face so that we don't upset other people. We've learned that by putting on a false face, we become accepted by the crowd. Or we can manipulate others to play into our emotional game. Truthfully, the false face keeps others from truly seeing how much pain we are actually in. We don't have to bake or take the risk to be vulnerable and real with them. If you found yourself wearing one of these false faces, do not be overly concerned and shame yourself. Society has given this mask to us. We have seen these false faces on media, advertisements, our entire lives. Every commercial that was ever made in TV history, everyone is wearing a fake, I will convince you manipulative mask. The conditioning is deep in us, so it is not our fault that we learned this pattern as well. Perhaps the better question to ask is, why do so many of us hide behind these masks? Are we really that afraid to be seen and let people feel the sadness, loss, anger, turbulence, or emotional pain that we are truly in? Maybe it's pain from the years ago that we never healed, but is still festering subconsciously inside today and only shows itself when we get triggered. After all, we are human beings. We have all been through some sort of emotional challenge, heartbreak, relationship turbulence, feelings of smallness, blame, shame, or betrayal. We were not trained by society how to heal these wounds by being more honest, vulnerable, and openly feeling into our pain for it to heal. People see vulnerability as a sign of weakness instead of the strength, which is actually what it takes to welcome it. If you are experiencing any kind of suffering in your life right now, it's because you have been wearing a mask and you were unaware that you were wearing one. You may not even know that you have one immediately ready to put on right now. The mask is very sly and sneaky and acts like a shield, protecting the ego from ever being seen, felt, and heard. The reason why so many people continue to wear masks is because they don't know what they have them, why they have them on, and that they have them on. They have been unconsciously and robotically wearing them for so many years that it seems normal. The mask behaves like a brick wall, blocking us from being vulnerable, which also stops the deeper heart connection from meeting others in their pain as well. The false face doesn't allow us to be truly intimate with people. It stops us from feeling our pains together. We do not reveal our loneliness, true tiredness, powerlessness, and struggle that we are having every day with everyone. Everyone's Facebook posts always show how wonderful and successful our lives appear to be. Once our mask is removed, we may feel naked, even more powerless in life, and this is truly scary. Yet this vulnerability is our first step towards liberation and true empowerment. We cannot hide behind a mask and expect to be happy in this life. If we want real success, real happiness, and real love in life, then we must let down our guardedness completely. We must choose to take the risk with our loved ones to be real, to talk about what we cannot talk about, and be deeply honest with ourselves on the deepest levels. All the greatest treasures are hidden behind that which we wouldn't want to be with. Pam Wilson. If we're going to become free from the problems and inner battles we are experiencing with our life partner, our job, our boss, finances, family, friends, or the health of our bodies, then we must choose to be honest with ourselves first. We need to first acknowledge what the problem truly is and feel into it. We need to be radically real and fearless. Anytime we are dealing with our own ego, it is so slippery. This realness can bring up tremendous fear inside that can make us try to escape from it in a variety of ways. We must choose to be deeply aware, as we may distract ourselves from being real through the mobile phone, food, legal and illegal substances, other people, or anything that is entertaining for the ego. When we stop and can fully feel this fear of being real, it is a really good sign. Then we have identified that which is creating all suffering. Now half the battle is over. The next step is to take a leap into the unknown and make the commitment to continuously be vulnerable with our false face the instant it pops up. You'll soon find that the reward you receive from being open, honest, and vulnerable is 1,000 times more valuable than the unconsciously wearing this heavy protective armor that is trying to micromanage reality and creating more stagnant suffering. If you wish to truly remove your masks forever, start with letting go of caring so much about what your friends, family, and partner thinks of you. Instead, get excited about the possibility of discovering your connection to an infinite divine power inside your body. This power is the only thing that actually is real, as it cannot put on a false face and is always authentic, real, and free. Nothing can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists, A Course in Miracles. We must choose to be willing to take the risk to trust in the divinity inside of us and know that it is guided and is guiding everyone in every moment of our lives along the way. We must choose to realize that our intrinsic nature to divine sacred. We must choose to remember that we are all intelligent, kind, and loving beings from birth. Have you ever met a condescending, critical, judgmental baby? No, they simply do not exist. We were born pure without this protective, harsh conditioning. Our true nature is at the very core, is pure and innocent. We are all still babies inside at the core. This pure being is already free from judgments, rules, perceptions, and assumptions that society holds us to. We start making real spiritual progress in this lifetime when we realize this and abandon the habit of giving anything in the outer world power over us. This means we stop blaming the outer world for our inner conflict and take responsibility for feeling the divinity that always exists at our core. We can stop letting any falsehood control our lives by taking responsibility for the love inside. We are the creators of everything in our lives. All we need to do is give ourselves more compassion, patience, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness. These qualities will expand our consciousness so that we can melt through the ego and liberate our minds. There are as many ways to freedom as there are grains of sand on the beaches of all of the world. There are as many ways to freedom as there are grains of sand on the beaches of all of this world. When the inner conflict on our inner world is spiritually liberated, it will open up our emotional bodies, and we will feel more spaciousness in our thinking, our thoughts. We will have a quality to them which is more relaxed and real. If we can all do this together, we will be coexisting on an extremely enlightened planet one day. You have to participate relentlessly in the manifestation of your own blessings. Elizabeth Gilbert. Our lives are an invitation to be real. Being real means being free. And I know this sounds a little outrageous to take the risk to be real, authentic, and open with everyone you come in contact with every day. Yet, it's an opportunity to celebrate this amazing heart and soul inside each of us. Being real is the doorway to self-realization. We are summoned to stop hiding our light behind the fear of what others may think about us. Running away from honesty is a sure way to create more misery. We are such a beautiful being. There is nothing inside of us so wrong that we need to hide from it. We are human. We are divine. Any ugliness that we perceive in ourselves is only the ego's colored judgment and misguided interpretation. When our mask is removed, we give everyone permission to do the same. Everyone. You'll be surprised when others are liberated and filled with joy when you are simply sharing with them what you thought you could not share. Living from this space, everyone can be liberated There is nothing inside of us that is wrong, stupid, bad, or ugly. There is only God inside, all of us at the core. Once we take the risk to be real and are truly sharing ourselves with everyone in a very real, open, and exposed way, we will see that they start being more authentic with us. And suddenly, everyone feels more connected with each other. This is where the entire world begins to awaken. We can start liberating ourselves from this false face habit and this simple heart meditation exercise that I'm going to share with you. It is the ego that needs the ideas of equality, superiority, inferiority. These are props. Without these, the ego cannot exist. Withdraw the props, and the ego falls flat on the ground and disappears. Osho. If you had enough pain in your life and are ready for a significant change, I invite you to take the risk to be real with everyone you encounter for the next 3 days. Just try it. Do it for your own freedom. Remove your mask with your friends, family, loved ones, and everybody else that you meet, if you can. Let down your guard in a group of people so everyone can see the whole you, the real you. And let yourself feel naked. Be the vulnerable, fragile being you truly are. Something very magical and powerful happens when you are real. People start to really listen to you. They hear you on a deeper level. The secret to totally soften with others is being so open and exposed that you naturally bring your full attention into your heart. The mask happens when we share from up in the head, yet we bring our awareness into the heart and allow our mind to rest there. The mask loses power, and your ego cannot take over anymore. Remember always, there is a massive love hidden within your innermost being. It will show itself more frequently as you learn to relax into what is real. This love is powerful. It will give you the courage to be real in every life situation. This loving feeling is a sign that your masks are melting away. Yay. This is a healing heart meditation for being real. In this meditation, we're going to practice focusing on our heart center, persistently and consistently as often as possible. Just start with resting your attention on the location of your physical heart space right now. Notice what this feels like to relax your awareness there. Take a few long, deep breaths into the heart and tell your heart gently and quietly that everything is going to be okay. And it can relax now into what is real. That which is real is that which never changes. Bring your awareness to your heart center and try this now. It may take 5-10 attempts before you feel anything. All that's needed is practice this meditation every morning when you wake up. Do this for a few weeks in a row, and you will begin to notice something divine happening. I guarantee it. The experience of bliss starts to sneak its way into your daily life with subtle repetitions. Don't worry if the mind wanders when focusing on the heart. Don't pay attention to the mind. Just rest your attention as often as you can on the energy inside your heart. Feel the sweetness of your own heart, the divinity of your soul. It is real. It is the only thing that is real, in fact. Develop this intimate heart connection with yourself in every moment of life. You will taste the joyful nectar of your life. It's good to know that in any meditation, you cannot force anything. The sweetness of the heart will rise on its own. Our job is simply to relax and wait patiently for it. Listen. Have the patience as if you were going to sit for 1,000 years patiently and peacefully. The deeper that you can relax, rest, retreat into your heart center, the mask which you were once wearing will have no choice but to fall off. A mask cannot compete with the power of the heart. In fact, the most incredible thing about this meditation is that every person who meets you, who even sits near you, will not be able to remain stuck to their mask when your mask is completely gone. They will feel like a fool for having one. In time, you'll see that everyone's mask has to fall off, simply because they feel how light and free life is to be without it. The more liberated and the lighter you become, the quicker others' masks melt in your mere presence. And yes, we really are that powerful. Soon, you will fill the room with a joy that permeates everyone's heart. You have the power to change this world. Each of us do, one smile at a time. That person right now is you. Have fun dropping your mask this week. And whatever you do, remember that you're the master here. So don't take yourself too seriously. It's just a serious mask. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax our bodies. That's it. Relax the body. Head to toe, inside and out. You're in a space. You aren't interrupted. You're focused on your breath. Your eyes are closed. You're relaxing naturally. Feel all of this stuff. Feel your mask melt away. Feel the realness of you go front and center. Absolutely. You'll feel it. You'll feel the release. You feel the stress and the tension, the anxiety, the worry, and the fears, all the things that we literally pile up on ourselves. So where do you go? You go into the heart. Body will tell you. As the shoulders drop and the neck relaxes, your legs and arms, and you just literally fold into your heart love. And you look at all these things. You say to yourself, these are really crazy. When we stop worrying about what other people think of us, then we'll truly be free. And I mean genuinely, without fear, without anxiety, but totally free. And then the body relaxes even more. See what it is? It isn't about out there. It never has been about out there. It is always about in here. And isn't it funny how many of us choose to be out there? Why do we have masks? We put this facade up that we're a certain way with people, right? But we know we're not. And why is that? Because we're afraid to be ourselves around others. We're afraid. Fear isn't a bad thing, because with fear comes courage. And you're the master. You've been the master forever. So you have this courage from the fear. You face your fears. And you say to yourself, what's the big deal? I'm going to be myself from this day forward. I'm not going to be belligerent or caustic or disrespectful. I'm going to be me. I love me. And watch what happens. You feel your body will get light. It'll get lighter. And you won't have that pressure anymore. Hiding, Look at today. Look at how many masks we can wear. Look at the internet communication. You know, you could be whoever you want to be, but instead of being you. And some of us try so hard it exhausts us, trying to be accepted, trying to be liked, trying to be respected. It's just a constant thing with ourselves. And then we shift it. Well, I'll just act this way. They'll like me better if I act this way. You know, I'll have more friends if I act this way. Here's something to ask yourselves in this life. Not all the other ones, but this one right now. On one hand, count for yourself how many true friends you have to date that will drop everything, that will come to your aid, no matter what they're doing, no matter what they're involved with, no matter what their responsibilities are, will drop everything and come to your aid, will be there for you. And be honest with yourself when you do this. Don't guess it in. And don't be embarrassed if you can't come up with one. And there's no reason to feel depressed, anxiety, or irritated about it. But one friend that will do that, no matter what, no matter how the storm is raging, they will be there. And whatever you need, they will do whatever they can to get it for you, to help you with it. That is something to ask yourself. Then what that does is that you start to realize that you and who you truly are is your best friend. That the universe always has your back. And you are the universe. And the universe is you. Literally. That isn't figuratively. That is literally. Now you wonder why we put up all these masks. Because we're so tied up in the physical material world. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. It's just what we choose to do. And most of us don't even know we do it. And then we wonder why we're so stressed and worried and fearful and in a hurry. Because it's all outside of us. You ever heard anybody say to you, this is the way I am, this is the real me? You can either, take it or leave it. Have you ever met anybody that seems to you kind of, arrogant, but they're not? Because they just really, you can feel it, they don't care what other people think about them at all, period. And you can tell that's from their hearts, that they just, it's not an issue for them. And then people will look at them and go, how do they do that? I'd be embarrassed to show myself, the real me, to anybody. Why? Then we don't have all those stresses, tensions, anxieties, fears, worries. When I say much love to some people, I feel their energy. It's really constrained. When a man says much love to another man, that other man in a lot of cases will become nervous. Isn't that amazing? Could it be that some of us are afraid of love? Because we only depict love a certain way, don't we? How do we depict love? Physical, right? That's how the society and civilization has been trained. Physical love. There are loves that blow away physical love. Way beyond that. Now, obviously, I'm not saying that physical love is not wonderful, fantastic, stupendous, and marvelous. But to explore the other areas of true love. Starting with yourself. Completely. And it's all, and I think all of us know this. When we learn to love ourselves deeply, sincerely, and genuinely, with kindness, gentleness, generosity, and humbleness, and deep gratitude, then we'll be able to love everything. And we're talking about loving the life, that is housed in everything. Loving the God, which you are, I am, we all are. Wouldn't it be nice if you're talking with a group of people, or when, and you feel their heart energy, and you know they're all genuine and they're not putting on any parade of falsifications, imitations, or anything. They're not out impressing anybody. They are literally content. They love themselves. Have you ever been in that? When you just start understanding that and discovering it, that's who you will draw to you. And keeping our bodies relaxed and practicing being in the now all the time is crucial, because that's the way to manage and eventually master the ego mind. Ask yourself, when do I love myself and how do I love myself? Forgive all the stuff that you have accumulated, and it's just stuff. Dig that Tupperware, dig that container on the back of the refrigerator that you're afraid to open up because of what you'll see in there. Dig it out, open it up. Look at it and watch it dissolve. See, because when we're in the now, we're focused on our breath, we leave the ego mind alone. We're not interacting with it, see? We also leave the subconscious mind alone. We're not interacting with them. And this is why our mind chatter that we all have goes away. And I know that you've been there, you know we've been there, where you're not thinking. You're not worrying, you're not stressing, you're not fearing. You're just in the moment. That's it. The sacredness of the breath, the moment, the now. Now, I'm not saying that's easy for many of us because we're so used to living in the future or the past. Very difficult for us to stay focused on the now. But as you practice it, you'll fall more into the now. And when you say to people, people that say to you, well, hey, Alan, where do you think you're going to be a year from now? Alan turns around and says, I don't have a clue, nor am I really concerned about it. I live in the now. I relish every single moment that I'm in this body, moment to moment. I love the God that I am within this body. And not worry or stress or fear on what they may think of you. Huge in our civilization. Huge to discover that. And we're not talking about discovering it from the ego mind, where you're arrogant, disrespectful, bludgeoning to others. No, it's through the heart mind. Always drop into the heart mind. Whenever you feel you're in the head, drop to the heart. That's another practice. People say, well, there's so many practices. How do I keep track of them? You don't. You go within, and you'll be guided by the God that you are. Just listen. And you look in these bodies, right? Because we're not the body. And we all know that. But we're deeply grateful for the body so we can experience physical form. We're not the soul. We're not the spirit. We're not the higher. We're the soul, the spirit, the higher self, which are facets of the God. It's all one. But we aren't the body, the name, the belongings, the material, physical status. We're none of that. So if you looked into the body, look in your body, you'll see 7 lights. The top of the head, the bottom, the tailbone. Straight up through the center of the body. These are known as chakras. What are chakras? What's the definition of chakra? Wheels. So the lights in our body are wheels of light. They're etheric, spiritual energy. What are we, the gods? Etheric, spiritual energy. We flow through those. We're connected with these bodies that the majority of us on this planet don't even have a clue. We are so deeply connected with these bodies down to the quantum quark. Every cell, everything, every brain fiber, we flow through all of that. We'll flow through it all. So doesn't it make sense that eventually, as we continue to discover who we are, what we are, the gods within these bodies, that eventually we'll come to the full understanding that we can heal these bodies that we're in almost instantaneously. Now that's exciting, isn't it? Now, since we know we're the soul, the heaven, the body, the earth, so when we enter these bodies, we power them up. So they sustain the gods that we are. We couldn't live without air, water. It's common. We know that. The body wouldn't. You would. You're eternal. The body isn't yet. So you picture yourself walking this planet exclusively through the heart-mind, consciously aware of who and what you are. And a lot of people say, well, what does that mean? Consciously being aware of who and what you are. It means that you are aware that you're of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, peace. Consciously aware. And every single step we take, being heaven on earth, soul, heaven, body, earth, we're creating paradise, literally, not figuratively. Not only that, we're shining our God force, love, light, energy 360 degrees, nonstop, infinity. Flooding, saturating, and bathing all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. This is phenomenal. And you can do that anytime you feel like it. I'm going to blast my God force, love, light, energy out around everyone. You don't have to yell and scream, bang on the wall. You just nonchalantly in a relaxed state just walk through crowds of people, blasting them with your deep, eternal love, light, energy. Watch what happens. It's amazing. This is all about self-discovery for each of us. This stay in these bodies, this planet. We've done it. All of us have, thousands of times. So if you were to literally, a group of us got off planet, right? And we moved through the heart-mind, understand, and we moved a way out, and then we saw the planet in its entirety, and we would see that it glowed. And that we would look at the lights around it in this universe, and we'd see how they pale in comparison. Yeah, 8 billion gods shining their light, 360 degrees. Now, most of them don't know it, but we do, and eventually they will as well. Now, we know there are parts of the gods that we are that are asleep. They'll wake up in due time. But the other parts of us are awake. And this means that 100 billion light years away, we are connected. We're one. Space isn't the separator. The sacredness of space is not to separate it. We are the sacredness of space. So then we focus on this planet. In this now, hundreds of millions of us are consciously aware, many more that are asleep, liberating this planet. All the crevices, all the nooks, all the crannies, everything. Where all the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies are. So we don't allow any more of the toxicness of these lower dark matter frequencies to seep into everything anymore. We go right to the source, and it's vaporized due to the love that we are. It cannot handle that. And this is the liberation of planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. And we, all of us, are the liberation. We are the source, the kingdom of God. Feel that move within you. Flow. Free. So this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And this means that they come in Googleplexes. Googleplex fills this entire universe with not even one sacred square inch of space to spare. They come in trillions of Googleplexes from trillions of directions, from trillions of universes, galaxies, everywhere. And they're here, and we can feel them because we are them and they are us. This is the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Christ, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. All the off-worlders, the galactics and the celestials. Everything. Now, light energy beings that are in different light spectrums, that are on, around, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, because of our eyes that we have with these bodies, we only see 1% of what is. So they come in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, and configurations of which we don't see. We don't see an infrared or UV. But we're familiar with a handful of them: the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals: earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. And on the magics, the elementals, without water, we know these bodies wouldn't be able to hold us. Without air, they wouldn't be able to hold us. You see the intimate relationship we have with the magics. We are not unknowing beings. Now, the archangels, they're a civilization that vibrated at a different frequency than we do. People say, well, why wouldn't we see them everywhere? Because their frequency is higher than ours. Doesn't make us any different. They've ascended more. But we meet with them. We interact with them. You could pass one by, it look just like any of us. But as you go more into the heart, you'll start discovering how many there are. I mean, you could be doing something. I know you've all had these experiences. Maybe not saying, boom, okay, that was an angel, but a feeling that you've had where someone just kind of out of the clear blue starts talking with you. You look around and go, who the heck is that? And you're talking with them and everything. And just friendly conversation. And then they, stop, and then you go about your business. And something dawns on you, say, you know something? That was an angel. Or where someone's trying to, it appears out of nowhere and helps you with something, whatever. And then you turn around and look up and they're gone. And then you say to yourself, that was an angel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands, tens of millions. Because of their vibrational frequency, they can hold a small number or a large number in a small area. And they have a message for us. And the message comes in unending ways. Do we always identify? No. But sometimes we do. And the message is, isn't it absolutely magna glorious to be alive in these bodies? And that is bliss when you start to understand how valuable these bodies are to we the gods. They're valuable to us. The longer we can inhabit them in a healthy way for them to be, the more we learn, the more we experience. Now, we get addicted to these bodies. Reason we do is because when we're gods, or the gods that we are outside the body, the memory of being in that life and that whoever that body was fades away quickly. And then before you know it, we don't even remember what it's like to have a turkey sandwich. We don't know what it's like to taste or feel or touch or laugh or cry or none of that. So, when we get in these bodies, it's like, wow, this is wild. This is phenomenal. Now you can see from the perspective of the evil mind in the physical material world why so many people take these bodies for granted. They're very intelligent vessels. Treating them with the highest amount of respect as much as we can is imperative. Loving them is imperative. Being grateful for them is imperative. This allows us to discover ourselves more and more and more. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have mastered physical, right? So they've ascended into physical and mastered it. They've ascended out of physical. They hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are mastering the physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creation. Now, the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, over 1,000 species travel through this solar system every day. Trillions throughout the universes every day. We are familiar with a handful, small group, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, felines, Zeta Reticuli, Nords, Greys, Anunnaki, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, enlightenment, ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. And we're all gathered, hundreds of millions of us, arm in arm, hand in hand, consciously aware, in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God force, love, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand. We immediately form a circle of light around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia. And this now. This circle of light emanates from the God force, love, light, energy within each and every one of us. The gods that we are. The pure, eternal, deep love that we are. Flooding this entire planet. On it, in it, above it, and below it. Saturating all life, the highest supreme value in the universes. We begin to ascend, and we're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. And the best way to describe it is to say the most wonderful, massive, grand finale fireworks display that we've ever seen, a massive laser light show that we've ever seen, and this huge ballroom mirrored globe. Unlike the ones in the ballrooms, this one is 1 trillion times larger and 1 trillion times more intense. All at once, all combined, flashing, sparkling. And of course, we're curious, so we go and we look at the reflecting points. And we notice these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched, and we enter them. And we discover that all of us are teaching and learning, learning and teaching, or both. We're either students or teachers of each other, with and for each other. We're learning constantly. We cannot learn. There's no way that we aren't learning constantly. All life, no matter how it's housed, is God. All life, no matter how it's housed, is God. The life gives the body that it is housed in life, energy. Birds, dogs, cats, horses, cows, bugs in a rug, flies on the wall, everywhere. All life, trees, grass, everything. Sit in nature. Focus on your breath. Close your eyes and listen and feel and watch. And you can see a lot with your eyes closed. You'd be amazed. We're immediately met with the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve. We are then met with the white light. This is the column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, 24/7, infinity, we are protected with this white fire light armor. Now, it's nothing like the armor on this planet. It's way beyond that. It emanates from the gods that we are, the love that we are. It is impenetrable by any lower dark matter, survival matter frequency. Cannot be seduced, weakened, or dispersed. You cannot be inhabited or possessed by demon attachments. None of it. No lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies. We are completely protected. Yet, only you have the power that if you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, revenge, insecurities, envy, hurriedness, constant, you will create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies to come flooding in. Then you have the opportunity of demon possession, attachment, all kinds of lower dark matter, survival matter frequency possibilities. Now, if you do this, you're immediately met with the purple transmuting flame. This is a double column of light. The purple transmuting flame is the first part of it. We created this to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can transmute all of these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutralized substance, sending them to pure consciousness where they are gone. The second part of this column is the violet ray. We created this column to remind us all that we can bring in the violet ray right behind the purple transmuting flame, cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational frequency and balance in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden white pink light. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that we are the sun, the gods that we are in these bodies. We are the sun, the sunlight. We are the sunsets and the sunrises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams. We are the rain, the rainbows. We are the mountains. We are the trees and the forest, the animals and the soil. We are the sky and the clouds. We're everything, and everything is us. So the next time you do see an ocean front, a mountain view, a snowfall, a starry lit night sky, a sunset or a sunrise, it is you. It is each and every one of us. The gods within these bodies. We are divine perfection. We are the only thing that doesn't change because we are divine perfection. So when you look at the sunset, you say, that is the God that I am. You see the difference in the frequency and the vibration because you are part of it. You are it. You're not outside of it. We continue to ascend above the planet, and some of us step outside our physical form and hover effortlessly above our bodies if we're carrying physical form. Why do we do this? Well, because we can. We're immediately met with this massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It is huge. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. In the center of the column, we discover an oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is a golden white ball of light. It is surrounded by numerous rings of multicolored light. And they're all sending this massive misty cloud, and it looks like it's electrified because you can see the arcs and the flashes, but you can also see beautiful glitter and reflections, and it is absorbed into you. It is like a warm embrace that never ends. Now, the golden white ball of light, we discover, is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. Then we have gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, well-being, tranquility, benevolence, great prosperity, great abundance, happiness. It's endless. We discover that it is the reflection of the gods that we are. At the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity. And the golden ocean is the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest, eternal love. And it's flooding all of us, saturating all of us head to toe, inside and out. Now we're all drops of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops of the golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. And you know, the only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere, it sets center circle. We all created this sphere almost 4 years ago, collectively. It holds over 1,700 of our meditations in perpetual motion. These meditations don't go away. They don't fade off. They continue to intensify, and they continue to expand. Imagine that. Hundreds of millions of us gathered, all consciously aware, connected to all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, liberating this entire planet with the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies of pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. There is nothing that can escape it. Nothing. All these lower frequencies, dark matter frequencies, completely dissolving and vaporizing, literally being sent back to pure consciousness. You can see it. You can feel it. Your ego mind will try to question it. Do the opposite of what didn't work before. Believe in the power of silence. The more you can relax and just be, the more abundance of life's rich experiences you will receive. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath through the nose and an easy breath out the mouth. Move easily and slowly. We are all innocent by nature. Stop beating yourself up for making a mistake. We've always done the best we knew how to do. Everything that has ever happened was perfect. We did the right thing. We played that role in our lives exactly the right way. Take this moment and forgive yourself. Embrace your inherent innocent nature. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. We will return here tonight, Friday, December 10th, 2021 at 9 p.m. Eastern with our special guest, John Butt, on our Reverse Aging Health Call. And tomorrow, Saturday, December 11th, 2021, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call.